Well, thank you for that. I'm talking about the wheat prices, which have seen a strong run-up overnight, nearly a 1.5% of a gain. And with that, we are up by nearly 22% now in last 6 months for the Indian wheat prices. This is the highest that you've seen in 8 months now coming in for India. And there are various reasons on why the prices have been running up. To begin with, Maharashtra, which is one of the major producers, the sixth in the row really, has cut area under, wheat planting. The expectations that because we've seen lower monsoon season this time around, so Maharashtra could move out away from chana and wheat and go in for millets like maize, bajra, etc. And that's really supporting the prices for a couple of those commodities. Also, when it comes to wheat, it needs 4 or 5 rounds of irrigation, which Maharashtra perhaps cannot afford this time around. So you could be looking at lower wheat production this time. Apart from that, it also has to do with the festival demand. In any case, the winter period is a peak demand season for wheat. You have the maximum wheat demand in India between the months of November to January. And with the way the markets are right now, with market totally dependent on the government OMSS schemes, there is some concern now coming in because of the supplies here. Also, when you look at the import tax in India, that stands at 40%. Industry for some time has been talking on whether or not the government will ease that. We haven't seen that happen until now. Also, when you look at the government stocks itself, that has been on the weaker side. On 1st of October, it is standing at 24 million tons versus the 5-year average of 37.6 million tons. Remember, last year wasn't such a great one, and versus the target that government put at 34.15, it could procure only 26.2 million tons, and that clearly has been supportive. If you look at the overall crop numbers as well, while we are looking at a higher crop this time around and a record number that the government put out at 112 million tons, the street estimate is that you perhaps are not looking at any more than 100 million tons, even lower than the last year, and that has led to some concerns within the trade as well. If you look at the various government measures that we've seen in case of wheat, well, you have India banning wheat exports in May 2022. You also do have stock limits when it comes to holding wheat. That was cut down from 3,000 tons to 2,000 tons currently, and while the government is selling wheat in the open market scheme, it is lesser. And in Delhi, we've seen the prices almost surge to around 27, 28 rupees a kg, with expectations that 30 is not too far away.
Very much for that. Well, commodities and agri-commodities in focus this time. Just two